So you are right. The reason why people don't spend money on marketing is because here's what happens. They go, oh, my friend said I should spend something on Facebook. They'll put $1,000. Oh, I didn't make any money. Then they stop.
Yeah.
And the problem is they're looking at ROI on a day. It shouldn't be that. It should be ROI in a year.
Yeah.
Lifetime value of that customer. When I say to people, if you spend $10, you make about $10, is it good? They just go, no, it's not good. I said, why? Oh, because you don't make any money. I said, well, do you know what you've gained? If you can spend $10 and make back $10, you can create a multi-million-pound company from that because it's cost you zero to get that customer. And if that customer spends another $10 with you, what's the ROI? It's not 10%, it's not 100%, it's unlimited, right? If you don't spend money on your marketing, you can't get any new eyeballs that come in. If new eyeballs don't come in, you don't get browsers. And you've done this before. You and I have gone to a shop. We go browsing. We don't have any intention to buy anything, but we come home with bags of shopping. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Right. But why did that happen? Because we went to browse. That means in the whole marketing, spending money on advertising, the mindset of that is the more people you bring to your shop, the more people are going to buy.
Yeah.
That's how you have to think about it. But people go, oh, I don't want to spend money on marketing. I'm going to do organic marketing. What happens when Google changes the algorithm? Right? And I'm not saying organic reach is not bad, but you have to take the money that you earn from organic because organic is very slow. And you take that and then you put that into your marketing and you reinvest it back in.
Yeah.
So instead of pulling the money out and going buying a Lambo with it, put it back into your business. Your business is your baby. Like you would not feed your baby, right? So you feed your baby, which is your business, and in return, it feeds your family.
Yeah. I mean, I this is a lesson for me as well. I've set up my app, my fitness app, because when I had done the online training in COVID, that was when I started that on Instagram Live. It was all for free. It was just for fun. It was actually to motivate myself to train. But then as the months went by, I couldn't show up daily, right? So then I set up this passive income concept where I could have this app where it has programs, it has a nutrition guide, but at the same time, it's not going to do so well, and this is something I learned the hard way, where I realized, I'm like, okay, but why didn't everybody convert? And how am I going to continue to grow on the app? And what I was doing wrong was I never paid for marketing. I never did any sponsored ads on Google or on YouTube or anything. I just counted on my voice on my platform. But that's really small compared to what I could possibly reach.
And what happens is you start exhausting the audience. So let's say you have 10,000, 20,000, even 100,000 followers. There'll come a point where it'll plateau and you need to bring new people in. When you bring new people in, then you repeat the process of it. So in business, I find it goes like this. It's like a step, right? And every time more revenues come in, it's because we've spent more. Now you're probably thinking, well, does that, like, I know people they'll make 20 million a year, but the profit will only be $1 million. And well, what's the point in doing that? Because when a company can produce revenue and scale, then it's worth money.
Yeah.
Right? Because you've got other things you can offer as well. So for example, I'll give an example for my events and seminar business, right? We do, trainings in public speaking, right? We do trainings in property investing. We do trainings in trading, in online businesses, social media, right? Branding. So like you can have one, so they say that a niche is an inch wide, but a mile deep. Right? And so that's why it works, because you take the same system, you can just cookie cut the system.
Okay, so if you were to give me like a case study or a live example of, let's say, I don't know, you are a nutritionist, okay, and then you wanted to start your business. You don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So let's take this step by step, because it could work across the board. So you basically figure out what you're good at. Figure out what the market needs, if they actually need your product, right? Because most people
No, actually, you have to change that. It's actually not what the market needs. So it took me a long time to understand this. That's the biggest mistake people make, is that you want to give the market what they need. So the phrase is you give the market what they want, and then you have to sell them what they need. I'll give an example. So you work out every day, you're in great shape, and do you feel like working out every day or every day sometimes? Like sometimes you don't want to work out?
I mean, I train 4 times a week.
Right,
More,
right. So if you look at in January, when you hear all the advertisements, oh, go to the gym, lose a stone in a week, it sounds good, doesn't it? Like, it sounds really good. But what they don't tell you is you have to eat really clean, you have to train, you do cardio, get a personal trainer. Like, imagine if they said, hey, come and join our gym and you'll get a personal trainer. You have to work out every day, you have to do cardio, HIIT training, you're going to sweat. You would not do it. That's not what you want. It's what you need, right? So this is why it took me a long time to understand the psychology of this, on how in business it's what people want, and then you have to sell them what they need to get that result.
So you emphasize a lot on that in your books, where you spoke about how you should tell people what the problem is first. Let them feel like it works on human psychology, that you understand that there is a problem. They feel like, oh my God, this guy gets me. This is the problem. And then list the benefits.
Let me give you another example, right? So let's take real estate. So one of my seminars was called How to Negotiate with Motivated Sellers. Because if you want to make a lot of money in real estate, you can't really go through an agent, because the agent's objective is to get the highest price. So I'm going to go directly to the seller. So if I buy directly from you, I don't have to pay any agent fees. Plus, I can negotiate terms on a discount. So let's say a property's worth $1 million. I say, you want $1 million, I don't want to pay $1 million. I want to pay 800,000. You say, I don't want that. I said, okay, Tracy, I'm going to give you 800 now. I'll give you 200 in 5 years. You can't negotiate that. It's very hard to negotiate that type of deal.
With a bank or with a realtor.
Correct, correct. So I know that if you want to get really, really good in property, and you want to make a lot of money in real estate, the number one skill is negotiation, right? Make money when you buy, not when you sell. Property is a people's game. You deal directly with people, right? Because people live in the property.
Yeah.
So, but I know that's what people need. And that's why people don't succeed in it. But you know, when I tried to market that program, I got 0 people. No one signed up. And I was baffled. I was like, why is no one signing up to this? And I would call people and say, hey, you know, didn't you say you want to, oh yeah, I want to invest in property. I want to make some money in property. Okay. And I would call other people up. And you know what I realized? Out of all the phone calls that I made, every single person kept saying to me, I want to do deals. I want to do deals. I want to close on deals. And then I changed the subject line and it sold out. I changed it from how to negotiate with motivated sellers to 52 deals in 52 weeks, sold out.
That's crazy.
Same program, different title.
That's interesting. I mean, it just tells you the power of words, right? I mean, how important it is to choose the right words, emphasize on those things. You know, you're talking about the power of negotiation, of selling, of lead generation. But people understand that in theory, but then they constantly wonder, how do I get leads? Like, where do I start? I mean, I want to enter property right now, let's say, and I don't know where to look. How do I find clients? You said it's important to go straight to the seller, right? Versus the realtor or the bank.
Yeah.
The realtor probably, if the deal was really good, you said that in your book, if the deal was really good, he would probably take the deal for himself or give it to his friend. Why would he come to you and tell you, buy this property, right? So it's best to go straight to the seller. Now, how do you do that? Do you do that online? Do you cold call?
So I'll take exactly. So I'll give 2 ways, right?
Yeah.
The first way is the free way, and it's the slow way, which what most people do. You have the paid way, right? So free way is always MMM, message market match. Whatever message I put out there is what I get back. For example, when you started putting fitness videos out there, I bet you got a lot of messages saying, oh, how do you work out? What's your workout routine? How many hours do you sleep? What do you eat, right? You must have got a lot of that.
100%.
So when you start putting that stuff out there, you start attracting that audience. So when I want to find properties and I want to attract the people, I have to think, what is it that they want? They want to sell their property fast. So I just put a very simple message out there. If you know anybody who wants to sell their property fast, send me a DM. And then people will send me DMs. Or I put a video on YouTube. I say, hey.
But you have a following. Imagine it's someone that's starting from scratch. What do you do there?
I go to somebody else who's got a following. And I get them to do it for me.
Okay.
And they'll either do it for free or I'll have to pay them. But if I pay you $1,000 to make a post, I get one deal from that, and I buy the property 20% off, I've already made 20 to 30,000 instantly.
Yeah.
This is what people don't understand. They think it's a cost, right? It's never a cost, it's an investment. That's how people have to think about it. So the free way is to put a lot of content. So I will always advise 3 types of content: visual, audio, kinesthetic. I call it the WAD strategy. We write things, we put it out there. We do audio, like Clubhouse, podcasts like this, we put it out there, or video, right? But the message has to be consistent. So you start putting that stuff out there. Okay? That's the free way. Paid way is you can go to, Google tracks everything. I can tell you the exact number. If I go on Google now, right, on my laptop, I can type in sell my house fast. I know the exact number of people who've typed that in, right? So I can say, okay, if there's one person, okay, there's no demand. If there's like 100,000 people, there's a demand. So I'm going to say that specific phrase when I type that in, if I use a software like Keyword Planner, right, and I put that and basically on Google you can advertise where you can pay Google and say, anytime someone types in this word, I want to be number one immediately.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait 6 months to get search engine optimization. I want to be in 24 hours. So if people do this for any term that they want, will be number one position on Google. That is powerful.
It's very powerful.
So I would type in things like sell my house fast, number one. Sell my house quick, number one.
So that's different to SEO.
Very different.
Okay. I thought search optimization would be the same thing where you add the keywords.
No.
Oh, so that's different.
That's
so
different.
Okay.
Because it takes a long time to do that.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not saying, and that's good if you've got people who can, write articles, write blogs and things like that.
I see.
Optimize your site, get traffic there. That's fine. That's the number one secret to get good organic rankings is to get people to land on your page and stay on there a long time. Because Google sees the relevancy, that's why it starts ranking it. But that takes too long.
Okay.
And also if Google changes algorithm, you have to start again.